time for the perfect blend of business and politics. The Chamber Business Hour, brought to you by the North Scottsdale Chamber of Commerce. And here's your host, North Scottsdale Chamber Executive Director, Joe Galley.
All right, welcome back to another edition of Chamber Business Hour. You're tuned to Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX, and my name is Joe Galley. I'm the host of the program, and I'm also the Executive Director of the North Scottsdale Chamber of Commerce. And this is the program where we provide you an opportunity to hear from some of our members on the front end of the program, and then we partner with the Arizona Chamber of Commerce and Industry on the back half of the program, and we get the president and CEO of the state chamber to come in, Glenn Hammer, and he will sit with us and talk with us about what's going on in the world of politics and how all things political impact business. So, but first, let's get right to it. In studio with us is Debbie Whipple from Belmont Village. Debbie, how are you today?
Great, Joe.
Well,
thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here. You're the executive director now of Belmont Village, which, by the way, I was there for the ribbon cutting a few months back, and what a fantastic and absolutely gorgeous facility. I'm looking for a place to live in North Scottsdale, Debbie.
Well, come on over.
Do you have room? We
have room.
Unbelievable how great it is. Now, where are you located, first and foremost?
We're located at, our actual physical address is 13850 North Frank Lloyd Wright, which is at Frank Lloyd Wright and 100th Street.
Okay, so a little bit down Frank Lloyd Wright off of the 101.
Right.
So if you're coming up the 101, you get off at Frank Lloyd Wright and go right at the traffic light.
Right.
And you can find it about, a mile and a half down on the right-hand side?
Yeah, about 2 miles down. Just if you've hit Cactus, you've gone too far.
Okay.
So,
well, wonderful facility. How many rooms?
138 total units. Yeah, 138. 25 of those are dedicated to a secure memory care environment. The rest are assisted living and circle of friends.
And this is a need you must have seen in the community then, because I've heard of other places that are looking to do secured memory care, and obviously important for our society to have this as an additional benefit. And are you seeing a response?
Absolutely. An interesting statistic from the American Alzheimer's Association is at the age of 65, 10 to 20% of people will have mild cognitive impairment or early Alzheimer's. At the age of 85, that number surges to 50%. So absolutely, we're seeing a lot of cognitive impairment in the aging population.
All right, so a little bit about the background of Belmont Village Senior Living of Scottsdale. You got 138 individual residences, 25 of which are dedicated for that mild cognitive, is that how you say that, mild cognitive impairment?
Correct. There's 25 dedicated to a secure environment, which we call our neighborhood, and it's for person-centered living. Very safe, secure programming built around that more advanced Alzheimer's and dementia. Then we also have another 25 units dedicated to a bridge program we call Circle of Friends, which actually is for mild cognitive impairment, which is early stage dementia or Alzheimer's. Not quite ready for a secured environment, but still could benefit from a very structured day and the programming we have around Circle of Friends.
Debbie Whipple, the Executive Director of Belmont Village, is with us in studio on Chamber Business Hour. Over 100,000 square feet of contemporary Frank Lloyd Wright styled space available for lifestyle. Talk about the lifestyle amenities that Belmont Village has.
Right, Joe. Belmont Village builds a building that looks like a resort. Very has a look that you've walked into one of our high-end resorts in Scottsdale. 3 stories, including things like a heated swimming pool, town hall, bistro, a beauty salon, a dedicated gym that is staffed with physical therapy. So it looks like that, but underneath what you can't see is a very, very robust care program, complete with 24-hour nursing. There's a nurse in the building 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, a caregiving staff, a very trained staff with all types of cognitive programming as well.
Yeah, and I have to say I was very I don't know how to say this. I was overwhelmed with the quality of food that was put out for the reception that we had. Everything was top shelf. It was spick and span clean. It looked like and of course it's new, but it looked like a very well manicured place to be, and it seemed like it had a lot of care. The folks that gave me a tour and some of the others that were there, it was really well done as a whole program in terms of sharing the new facility with the community. And I encourage people to get up there, and people come by and visit with you or get a tour or understand more about how they can use the services if they need them or if their parents need them?
Absolutely. We are available for touring 7 days a week, every day until 5 o'clock without an appointment. And if you make an appointment, we'll accommodate that. If you walked in today, it looks just the same. It is gleaming. The food is exceptional. I think we have among the best food programs of any.
I'm going to come over for breakfast one of these days, if you don't mind.
Anytime.
It looks so
we
good.
would love to have you. And so anytime.
All right, so Debbie Whipple, the executive director with Belmont Village. Let's get a little bit more into the signature enrichment programs that you have. I have notes in front of me. I know you mentioned, Circle of Friends. I want to talk about that in a second. But the MBA Club, this sounds very interesting because this is for the very active senior. Can you explain?
Right. The MBA Club would be for that assisted living resident who really isn't experiencing any cognitive decline. So we need to challenge them at a level that is that's a little more, challenging than somebody who's experienced some cognitive issues.
So it's somebody that they just can continue going on in life, and they're pretty stable in terms of their ability to go day to day.
Yeah, cognitively. Now, physically, they may have more challenges, but cognitively, they are right spot on. We could talk to them about the stock market today, and they would be able to. They would know exactly what stocks are where. They would know the most current events. They would know, and we'll challenge them on all of that.
Okay. Circle of Friends. I know that you talked a little bit about this. You referred to it at the beginning of the program. This is for people with mild cognitive impairment. And this is something that Belmont Village put a lot of time in years back. So it's sort of now come to fruition in terms of the Scottsdale facility. Can you go back a couple years and talk about how you came to this program, Circle of Friends?
Right. The Circle of Friends is really a brilliant program that was developed about 7 years ago based on the recognition from Belmont that there was an underserved population in assisted living and that people with mild cognitive impairment, they really didn't fit. They didn't need the secured environment yet, but they really didn't fit in that MBA club I just described either. So there wasn't this population that with the right kind of programming and structure could still have a very productive day, and the way we recognize them is, they tend to have a little inability to focus. Socially, they're a little less comfortable, with regular socialization, a little more forgetful, some memory loss. So having managed communities that didn't have a Circle of Friends, I can tell you that's the resident that wanted to go on the outing but forgot that the shuttle was leaving in an hour, or other residents will say, I'm not sure I want to sit with her because she repeats herself so much. That's the resident that Circle of Friends particularly serves, and we serve them very, very well. In fact, we've been awarded one of the most prestigious awards by George Mason University, Quality Healthcare Award in 2011 for the work that's been done, the research-based Circle of Friends, and the documentation of statistical results that we've seen in the slowdown and progression of dementia through that program.
How many people do you have active in the program currently?
Right now we have 7.
Okay.
7. We have, we just opened in late February. So,
is this something that you see a development of as people enter the facility in other stages, and then you can identify them and place them appropriately in this program?
Yeah, there's 2 ways that we identify them for placement in Circle of Friends. One is the state of Arizona requires that you do an assessment by a registered or a licensed nurse prior to move-in. During that assessment, our memory programs coordinator accompanies her and does some cognitive assessment as well. If that comes back that they could be best served in Circle of Friends, we will talk to family and about that or resident right away. The other way is when they're living there, this can, it can develop over time, and we can see that they would most likely have a big advantage from the structured programming in Circle of Friends.
All right, we have just about a minute left. I want to thank you so much for being with us. Program highlights I have here: dedicated, specially trained staff, research-based programs, 7 days a week, ongoing eval and support from program designers, social interaction to reduce isolation, all these critical for this stage.
Important.
And Debbie, activities designed to help improve function and boost confidence. I think that's got to be one of the major points of this program.
That's the major point. I was telling some friends earlier, we had a lady that came to us right when we opened. She was almost non-responsive. Now she's vibrant, laughing, joking after about 5 months in the program.
Debbie Whipple's with Belmont Village. You can reach her at 480-945-3600. Debbie, thanks so much for being on Chamber Business Hour. Stay tuned for more. You're listening to Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.